Welcome to The Explainer. Look, we're throwing the usual agenda right out the window today because the 2026 FIFA World Cup quarterfinals have delivered absolutely historic, jaw-dropping football. I am just way too excited to wait, so let's jump straight into the action.
20. It's not just a statistic, it is a monument in football history. This is Kylian Mbappe's career FIFA World Cup goal tally after this quarterfinal round.
20 goals. Just let that sink in for a second. The speed, the precision, the sheer unbelievable dominance it takes to reach that kind of number on the world's biggest stage. It's staggering.
20 goals. One legend. We are literally watching history being rewritten right in front of us. Kylian Mbappé isn't just playing in this tournament, guys. He is defining an entire era of the World Cup.
And the immediate result of that legendary form? A clinical, decisive 2-0 victory over Morocco, punching France's ticket straight into the semifinals.
Section 1. France advances past Morocco.
Now, what's really fascinating here is the multi-dimensional attack France is bringing. Sure, Mbappé stole the headlines with that historic 20th World Cup goal, but he didn't do it alone, right? Ousmane Dembélé was the guy who ultimately sealed the deal and secured that 2-0 win. It wasn't just a one-man show. It was France's incredible offensive depth completely overwhelming the Moroccan defense.
You can actually hear the strategic satisfaction from Didier Deschamps' post-match. Discussing the win, he really emphasized the tactical discipline it took to break Morocco down. He knows exactly how to navigate the crazy pressure of these knockout rounds, and his squad executed his game plan to absolute perfection.
But, every victory has another side to the story. Mohamed Wabi's reaction captures the intense, emotional weight of getting knocked out. Morocco fought incredibly hard, but listening to Wabi, it's so clear that the margins at this level are razor thin. One or two moments of magic from the other side and bam, your journey is over.
Section 2. Nail-biters and late drama. Okay, so while France enjoyed a fairly controlled win, the rest of the bracket was absolute chaos. Just tracking the timeline of the Argentina versus Egypt thriller, this match truly had everything. It starts with a goal from the iconic Lionel Messi, setting the stage. But Egypt fought back fiercely, turning the whole thing into a wild shootout. The climax, though? Right at the very end. Enzo Fernandez stepping up with a massive late-game winning goal to clinch a 3-2 victory for Argentina. It was a breathless finish that reminds us exactly why we love this sport.
Then, we get the ultimate test of nerves. A grueling 0-0 draw between Switzerland and Colombia after a massive 120 minutes of exhausting football. The margins here were inches. Literally, John Lukumi came mere inches away from scoring for Colombia, but they just couldn't break the deadlock. So it goes to a high-tension penalty shootout, and Switzerland ultimately survives, winning it 4-3.
Surviving a shootout takes a very specific ice-cold mindset, and that brings us to Switzerland's manager, Murat Yakin. Reflecting on that 4-3 penalty win, you can almost feel the collective exhale of an entire nation. Yakin highlighted his team's ability to just keep cool under fire. When 120 minutes can't separate two teams, it literally all comes down to psychological resilience. And the Swiss, they had just enough of it to advance.
Section 3. European giants assert dominance.
Let's zoom out for a second. Aside from Argentina surviving their chaotic match, a really clear theme emerged from the other fixtures. We saw Belgium completely dismantle the USA with a 4-1 thrashing. Spain ground out this super tense, tactical 1-0 victory over their Iberian rivals Portugal, and England edged out Mexico in yet another high-scoring thriller 3-2. When you look at all this data collectively, you see a European bloc establishing total authority as we head into the semis.
I want to look a bit closer at that Belgium game, because their offensive firepower was genuinely frightening. De Ketelaere opened the scoring to set a really fast tempo early against the USA, and to cap the whole thing off, Romelu Lukaku netting the fourth goal. An absolute exclamation point on a dominant performance. They didn't just beat the US, they sent a huge warning shot to every single team left in the tournament.
But hey, it's not always just about tactics and scorelines, right? It's about raw human emotion. I absolutely love this quote from England's Jed Spence after their 3-2 win over Mexico. He said, "Beating Mexico, the best feeling in the world." That perfectly captures the visceral high of advancing in the World Cup. These guys are carrying the hopes of millions, and in that moment of victory, all that crushing pressure transforms into just pure, unadulterated joy.
Section 4. The quarterfinal aftermath.
So the dust has finally settled on the quarterfinals. The heroes are minted, the heartbroken have packed their bags, and now we look ahead. Synthesizing the post-match press conferences from across the board, a few realities are really popping out. First, managers like Lionel Scaloni are deep in analysis mode, figuring out how to tighten things up after narrow, emotionally draining wins like their 3-2 victory. Second, squads like Spain with their incredible work rate are building really dangerous momentum after shutting out Portugal. And finally, the universal challenge right now, which we saw highlighted with Norway's team feature, is balancing this immense pressure. The mantra is, play the game, not the occasion. Which, is definitely easier said than done when the entire globe is watching.
Which brings us to our final looming question. With the European giants rolling over the competition, Argentina finding crazy ways to survive, and Kylian Mbappé out here actively rewriting the history books with his 20th goal, who can actually survive the ultimate pressure of the semifinals? The stage is set, the stakes are literally as high as they get, and the margin for error is exactly zero. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep studying these matchups, guys, because the best is absolutely yet to come.